TNA and NXT clearly have an agreement. But what if TNA's agreement was with the WWE main roster? This is what my WWE TNA Forbidden Door would look like. All right, so WWE, TNA, they have somewhat of a relationship, right? It's definitely all NXT right now, but what if it wasn't? What if it was WWE against TNA? Well, it's Forbidden Door season in New Japan, so why not? Let's see what happens with a TNA WWE Forbidden Door. Now, this was admittedly more challenging than I thought it was going to be. I kind of thought, like, I had initially put down, I'll go 8, because I think that the main card for Forbidden Door last year had 8 or 9. But overall they had like 14 matches on it. And so after I got to 8, I was like, well, there's a bunch of people still left off that I want to get on here. So we need to extend this. So it's at 12. So it'd be a long show. But here we go. First, right off the bat, Moose against Cody Rhodes, 2 champions. Cody still kind of has that, like, not indie whatever, but he hasn't been in WWE so long that it's like, oh my god, Cody against Josh Alexander, how could we? I don't have a whole lot of non-WWE dream matches for Cody because he was just non-WWE, but a couple of years ago. So, I think you just champion, Moose, Cody Rhodes. Cool. We're not really going champion here. We are going top female. It would be Jordynne Grace against Rhea Ripley. I think that would be an incredible match. And as I wrote that down, I was like, this has to happen. And look, the way Jordynne Grace has impressed in her WWE and NXT times, I think it is a very real possibility that it happens at some point. Next, I had to mix and match a few just to get everyone on the show. So it'd be a tag match, Mustafa Ali and Speedball Bailey against Sami Zayn and Seth Rollins. I think you have a couple high flyers on the TNA side. You could definitely go like a Rey Mysterio, Dragon Lee here, but I needed to get Sami Zayn and I needed to get Seth Rollins on this show. So I just put them there. That is kind of where they go. Next, it is their tag team champions in TNA, Brian Edwards and Eddie Edwards. Is it Brian Edwards? I don't know. What are they called? The System? I just, again, randomly thrown together team. Randy Orton and Jey Uso, just because I needed to put them on this show. But I mean, it would be fun. You could do some kind of a story with those guys, I'm sure. Then it's ABC, Ace Austin and Chris Bay. I have them against the New Day. I think that would be a blast. Chris Bay came around Calgary not too long ago. He was so much fun to watch. And he with Ace Austin, a real good high-flying team. And I think New Day would be a classic tag team to work with for them. Then I have Decay against Io Sky and Kairi Sane of Damage Control. I think the Decay, and maybe this is from my time watching Impact a while ago, but I just wanted Decay on this card, and I wanted EO to be factored in, and so that this felt like a perfect match there. Next, this one just a randomly thrown together team, a couple big boys. Hammerstone and Raj Singh against Braun Strowman and Braun Breaker. We would have to have Big E on commentary in some way, shape, or form for the Big Meaty Men Smack and Meat challenge that we would be having, but that would absolutely be, I think, a really fun match in that style. And then we get to what I think would be so much fun. Joe Hendry against Drew McIntyre against Kevin Owens against Nick Nemeth, also known as Dolph Ziggler. So you get that tie-in. Joe Hendry and Drew, at the time Galloway, had some fun stuff when it was ICW. I think mixing in the comedy of Nick Nemeth and the ability to play that role with Kevin Owens, I think the build would be spectacular. And then the match itself, I think, would be a whole lot of fun as well. And then we would get Matt Hardy and PCO against whoever you want to pick from the Wyatt Six. That's just... you do it on the Hardy compound as... God, why am I blanking on what it was called? But you know what I'm talking about. The final deletion stuff. Do a cinematic type of a match with those ones. I think you would do that. Then, this match would be absolute, so much fun. I went with kind of like the faces of the franchise sort of a thing. And because it's TNA, I'm doing it King of the Mountain match. Because why the fuck not? So representing TNA, there's 6 in it. in my version of it here. Representing TNA, the three would be Eric Young, he has been there for so long. He is TNA. TNA is him. Frankie Kazarian, kind of ditto. And then I have Jeff Hardy, who definitely bridges two sides here. But his time in TNA has been very impactful. Against John Cena, Roman Reigns, and, of course, AJ Styles in this one as well. Obviously, it's not 3 versus 3. It's a full 6-man King of the Mountain style. But I just think, like, yeah, let's put the faces of the franchise in it. And because it's a 6-man, let's do it. Let's do King of the Mountain. Why not? And then the last one, a classic wrestling match. Give them like an hour Iron Man. It would be Josh Alexander against Gunther. So, like, you could try, like, there are a whole lot, there's a whole lot more talent, like a Jake something or a Crazy Steve on the TNA side, Street Profits. I mean, WWE is rich with talent right now. So there's a lot that you could work with, but those would be the ones that I would do.